So we have a roster update coming to MLB The Show on Friday, and the last time I did this video, you guys completely blew it up, and I love making these videos. But more importantly, we have stubs to make, we have players to invest in. So without further ado, let's get into my roster update investment advice. Those of you who did not watch the first video, again, thank you guys so much for the support on that video. I like to break my investments into two different categories. I first talk about the guys who I argue are too expensive to invest in at the moment, and then I go over guys who I think are good investments. So let's start with the guys who are too expensive in my opinion right now. The first guy on the too expensive list is Matt Chapman. Now Matt Chapman just got the Lightning card for the April Player of the Month, and he's been arguably one of the best players, not arguably one of the best players, arguably the best player in the league so far this year. He's been insane. The thing about Matt Chapman is he's over quick sell for a diamond. Yes, he could go to an 86 and maybe to an 87, but you're not going to be seeing much profit if you buy him right now at that price. And if you look at the stats from the last update, which was April 21st to today, I'm recording this Sunday the 7th, posting it the day after, he hasn't done as well. He's still doing amazing, but he hasn't done as well. He's hitting 293. He hasn't had a homer since the last roster update. He still has an OPS over 800, and he still drove in 4 in this time period, but he isn't doing as well, and he's not worth it because of how expensive he is, but he's certainly going to go diamond. ALEXIS DIAZ has picked up right where he left off from last year. He's had an amazing start to the year. He is one of the few bright spots on the Cincinnati Reds, and I don't think you guys should invest in him, but I do think he has a really good shot at going diamond. He's around 2,300, so if he does make an 85, you're going to be making around 600 stubs profit per card you buy. So starting right there, that's not too much. That's definitely profit, of course, but it's not as much as I would like. And I mean, so far since the last update, he hasn't given up a run. He has 9 strikeouts. He's gone through almost 6 innings, and he has a whip of .71. So he's definitely in the running for diamond, but he doesn't have that much room to grow because he already has 117 hits per 9. He has 92 Ks per 9 as well. So maybe if he is striking out a ton of guys, he could go up, but he isn't striking out at an insane rate. He has 9 strikeouts since the last roster update. He has 9 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. So okay, I guess that's a good strikeout rate, but still, he could 100% go diamond, but he's not worth it in my opinion because of the risk, because he doesn't have too much room to grow in the per 9s, and he's already really expensive. Next, for the guys who are too expensive, we have Luis Arraez, who also got one of the best Player of the Month cards, and he's been unbelievable so far this year. He's hitting like 430 to start this year, which is insane. But Luis Arraez, the problem with him is he's already at quick sell value. He's over quick sell value for a gold, and he's he's above quick sell value of an 81, and he's currently at a 78. And the issue I have with investing in this guy is his power. Look, he's hitting 430. He's going to get huge contact boosts, but how far is that going to take you? He's going to have to start hitting homers for him to have a chance to go diamond later on in the year. Now, he is getting a lot of extra base hits, but he doesn't have any homers. I think he has 1 homer on the year. Like, since the last update, he's hitting 396, which is unbelievable. But he has 0 homers. He has an OPS of 892, which is very good, and 5 RBIs. But he isn't really hitting homers, and I don't know how much they value homers in the power numbers. So Luis Arraez, again, a little too expensive for my liking. The last guy on my list for too expensive is YANDY DIAZ, who is currently a 78 overall, another guy who got a Player of the Month. He's been so good so far this season. He, since the last roster update, is hitting 385 with 3 homers, a 1.099 OPS, and 6 RBIs. So he's been unbelievable. He's definitely going to go gold, but I don't know, he's a little too expensive for me because I just, again, with the power, like now I'm thinking about it, he's a little less on the too expensive side. I think when I made when I wrote down my notes, I think he was more expensive, so this actually isn't as bad as I thought. But he's going to have a power boost for him to go diamond. And he's around the quick sell of an 81, which is probably what he's going to go to. So, I mean, he's still a little too expensive for my liking. I would buy the dip, though, because the thing about these guys who are inflated in price and roster updates, their price tends to go down after they go up in overall. So that's when you pounce on these guys, and that's when you invest in them. That's probably what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it before the roster update. Now to guys who I think are pretty solid investments, starting off with Matt Olson. Now this guy is a little riskier than the others because of one thing. So look, I think batting average is kind of overrated in baseball, but I'm pretty sure that's what they use for contact ratings. And since the last roster update, Matt Olson is hitting 203. Now, that isn't a split, like splits. I don't know the splits. So he could be playing at his level with contact right and left. It's just in total 203. And since then, he has had 4 homers, though, with a 771 OPS and 7 RBIs. So the clutch could go up a little. And the power, he doesn't need that much, honestly, to go to an 85. I think he's certainly deserving of a small power boost, which could get him to diamond. And he's around 1,800. So if he goes to an 85, that's 1,200 profit per Matt Olson, and he also has the track record, so I think Matt Olson is a good investment. If we look at Joe Ryan, he needs a +4. Thanks to Inside Edge, we know he literally needs +4 hits and Ks per 9 to go diamond, so he barely needs anything. And since the last update, he's had a 1.42 ERA with 18 strikeouts, 19 innings, and a .95 whip. So he's had a ton of strikeouts, so the 68 strikeouts per 9 should definitely go up. He's definitely a really good one to go diamond. He is obviously a little more expensive, but he's a really safe pick to go diamond in my opinion, just because of how close he is to getting to an 85. It is only 900 profit per card, but that's not horrible, and it's a lot safer than the other ones. The next guy we're going to talk about is BRYAN Reynolds. BRYAN Reynolds just signed that new contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've had a great start to the year, and so has he. He's been amazing. Now, he is a little on the high side for his hitting attributes already, so the room to grow isn't as big as you would like, but since the last update, he's been on a tear. He's hitting 333, so the contact versus both sides could go up. He doesn't have any homers, but he does have an OPS of 935, so he's still hitting for power, but he doesn't have the home runs. BRYAN Reynolds is an 83 overall. He's 2 overalls away. If they can give him overall a big boost for contact and power since the last update, which he has had, if you look at that price, he is basically quick sell value. The quick sell value for an 83 is 1,200. You will be making around 1,800 per BRYAN Reynolds you buy if he goes diamond. I really like this investment. I could see him not going diamond on Friday, but snagging him at quick sell value now and then him going diamond the next update is definitely a possibility and will make you a ton of stubs. Now, Adolis Garcia is a little bit on the expensive side at around 2,200 right now, and he's an 83 overall. But the reason why he isn't too expensive is because, I mean, look at the room to grow on his hitting attributes. I think he's going to go ahead of an 85. I think he's going to be 86, maybe even 87. And if he does, you're going to be making over 1,000 profit. So I honestly like Adolis Garcia as an investment for this update. If you look at his numbers since the last update, hitting 327. So both contacts going to go up. He has 5 homers and an OPS over 1,000 at 1.084 with 17 RBIs, sorry. So the clutch can go up. The contact versus both sides, 64 and 50 for somebody hitting over 320 in a period. That's going to go up a lot. His power versus both sides is going to go up a lot because he is hitting so many homers and his OPS is over 1,000. He's a little more expensive, but I think he's going to be 86, 87. So you'll make your profit. Devin Williams coming in today was my favorite roster update investment. And of course, he finally gave up a run. But overall on the season, if you don't include today, he had a perfect ERA. He had no earned runs. Finally gave up an earned run today, but he didn't blow a save, and his ERA is still well below 1. And again, like the room for improvement, not amazing, but if you really look at it, His inside edge, if he gets plus 10 versus both hits per 9 and Ks per 9, it goes up to an 87. So realistically, that means he only needs a plus 5 versus both sides, which is definitely realistic. He literally, since the last roster update, he's given up 1 earned run, which was today, the day I'm recording this Sunday. And he has 15 strikeouts, and he has 4.1 innings since the last update. And on the season, he has 10.1 innings. So not an insanely big sample size, but Devin Williams for sure has the track record. I know SDS is definitely not going to feel like they're doing something wrong by giving him diamond. And he also has a whip of .87 since the last roster update. So I think Devin Williams is for sure a really good chance to go diamond. And he's at the quick sell of an 84. So you'll be making around $1,500 per Devin Williams that you invest in if you buy him now and he goes diamond. As a Yankees fan, this year has been pretty tough so far. We have been struggling, and it's been tough to watch. But one of the few bright spots has been Michael King. He picked up right where he left off last year before he injured his elbow. I'm pretty sure it was his elbow, right? But anyway, he got injured. He was out for the year. He's back. He's back to what he was last year. He's been amazing so far this year. And it seems like nobody's really even talking about him outside of Yankees fans. I mean, look, he's an 82 overall. He's not going diamond this roster update. That's probably true. But his attributes play into his favor for a diamond candidate because he already has 99 velo and break. He has 95 pitching clutch. Obviously, this is all a parallel 1, but it's only a +1. The Ks and hits per 9 are both 81 and 80. So he could go diamond, man. I don't think it's going to happen this update, but he could for sure go diamond. Since the last roster update, which when I went through StatMuse and I did all the stats, April 21st, if you're wondering, he's had a 1.13 ERA. He's had 10 strikeouts. He's had 8 innings, and he's had a whip of .63. And he's basically quick sell value at 909. Look, he's not going to go diamond this roster update, but for next update, if he does, you're going to be making $2,100 per Michael King you buy. Now, Bo Bichette already has very high contact, and rightfully so. He's a really good hitter. He hits for average. He gets on base all the time. But the power has been there so far this season for him. Now, Bo Bichette is hitting .299 since the last update with 3 homers, an OPS of 849, and he has 10 RBIs. So the clutch is at 90, could go up a little. The contact versus both sides could still go up a little, and the power versus both sides could go up a little. Don't think he's going to go diamond this update, but he for sure could the next update if he continues this power surge, and he's around 1,300, so that's 1,700 per Bo Bichette you buy. He's a little riskier just because his contact already being so high, but he definitely could go diamond if he continues the power hitting he has had. Oakland A's fans, you saw me talk about Matt Olson earlier. Now I'm talking about Sean Murphy, 2 former A's that you guys traded to the Braves. I'm sorry, y'all. Your owner is an idiot, and now they're moving to Vegas. I feel bad for you, but Sean Murphy has been exceptional. He's been so good for the Braves this year. Since April 21st, he's hitting .306 with 5 homers and OPS of 1.066 with 14 RBIs. He was just supercharged, I'm pretty sure, or I don't think he was. I think he was in the voting. But anyway, I mean, look at those hitting stats. So much room for improvement. The power is over 1,000 for the OPS. Could get a huge boost versus both sides. Contact could get a big boost because he's hitting over 300. The clutch should get a boost because of the RBIs he's had and the average with runners in scoring position. And he's around 1,200. Look, another guy who might not go diamond. He needs a +4 to go diamond. Yes, I get it. But if you look at that price, he's currently 1,200. You're going to be making 1,800 per Sean Murphy you buy if he goes diamond, which is probably going to be in the next update. But he has so much room to grow in his hitting attributes, and he is hitting so well with an OPS over 1,000 for the power to go up and an average over 300 for the contact. He has a really good chance to go diamond. Sonny Gray was probably the best pitcher in the MLB when we're talking about the time period between the start of the year and the first roster update. He got a big boost, and now he's on my video again. Now look, Sonny Gray, he's cooled off a little, but he's still had a really good few weeks, if that's what you would call it, since the last update. Since the last update, he has had a 2 ERA with 21 strikeouts and 7 innings pitched of 18. Now I'm thinking about it, I think I have his total season statistics. Maybe I don't. I'm not really sure. But his last outing, he did give up 3 earned runs in 5 innings. So not a horrible outing, but it's still almost a quality start. But anyway, Sonny Gray, I mean, another guy who has a ton of room for improvement on the attributes, going for around 1,200. That's 1,800 a pop. He's not going diamond this update. But if he continues to pitch the way he does, he certainly will the next update. I like to show you guys these guys so you can get ahead on when they're cheap in price, even though they're probably not going to go diamond in this update. But Sonny Gray, great candidate for next update. Harrison Bader, another bright spot on the Yankees so far this year. He just came back from injury, so he is still at a very small sample size, but in about a week, maybe probably a little less than a week, honestly, he's been hitting like Babe Ruth. I mean, he's been so good for the Yankees. Since he has returned, he's hitting .389 with two homers, an OPS of 1222, and 7 RBIs. And if you look at his hitting stats, they're in the 50s and the 60s. There's nothing else I need to say. He's not going diamond this update, but he's going to get a big boost. He has the fueling and the speed that will help him out a ton in the overall system. But Harrison Bader is a guy who's been destroying baseballs and can certainly go diamond. Probably not this update, but next update, and he's around 500 stubs. So if you buy him now, you'll be getting 2,500 profit per Bader, which is insane. The last player on this list is Ryan Presley. He's an 80 overall so far this year. He has given up 0 earned runs. Hasn't given up an earned run this year, or I don't know. On my sheet, I keep forgetting my sheet is since the last update, but I know his ERA is below 1. He's one of the best closers in the game. He has the track record. He's been diamond before. He's had 3 strikeouts, 6 innings, and a whip of .83. And he's quick sell. He's literally quick sell value. Again, not going diamond, but if you buy him at quick sell value right now, and he goes diamond later on in the year, that's 2,600 stubs per Presley you buy. Please start investing in this guy. That is going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, make sure you follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, but most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed here as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I've been your host, Nick from BRYAN Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.